I would say favorite part about the trip was um, really seeing God come through in the schools, seeing the team come together. I guess you want to say, like, even though that was like our first time really meeting each other was in Brazil. Yeah, so that was cool to see kind of the pieces come together, and I just love the fact that God showed up at the schools and we were able to impact, and that's like my favorite part of all the trips, like seeing hearts turn towards Jesus and seeing God's faithfulness come through and all the lives that we impacted. And so, yeah, that by far is my favorite part of the trip. Patience, learning how to, and I'm still learning how to do this, but like throw aside the worries and focus on the main mission. Because I don't know, just be honest, like the whole financial,
Like
that
the
was like a
details,
huge,
yeah.
that was a huge.
Obstacle,
If I would have allowed it to get to me, I would have like it would have messed up my whole trip. So I just kind of set it aside, and so just learning to press through that, because I mean, there's several times I wanted to give up, like even throughout the trip, and could have like just clocked out,
Like
just
during the trip?
during the trip, before the trip,
Or, yeah.
but especially with the whole bags and stuff like that. I say
Enduring.
before, a couple things. One, just because there's multiple people involved in planning this trip, so the communication wasn't the best. And I can't speak Portuguese because you have like Paulinho, you have Junior, me, Juan,
Yeah.
and so like just a lot of different mixed communication with, and it was causing a little strife between different parties, and so so that was a huge piece that we had to overcome during the trip. Obviously the finances point, and so that was kind of a big stressful moment for me personally, because having to cover, and then on top of like other expenses coming through, like with the trip, like unexpectedly, like with the sound system and like different things. And so but God, he came through and was able to cover it. But yeah, so I mean, just learning to set aside that stuff and really focus on like like I said, the main mission and main purpose was a huge growing experience for me. And so and learning to walk with wisdom and knowing that I can't do everything, like because there's like a time like, oh, let's just buy like a bunch of bags of groceries, but like almost like out of a pride thing, because I wanted to do more, but at the same time I have to use wisdom, like, no, this is what we have for the grocery. But thankfully, like the church that we went to gave us about pretty much $300 for the groceries, which helped out a lot. And so we spent I probably spent like $800 or $900 total on groceries. And so so that was huge. And yeah, so it's cool to be able to see the fruit of the persistency, and knowing that if you don't give up, like you kind of see like the bigger scale of things.
Yeah.
And I guess like right now, like I'm happy for the trip, but at the same time, it's like I feel like I know there could be more. I know there is more. And so at the end of these trips, like you have like a high, and then you have like a low, because you're so on high, and then you get back to your normal state of mind. You just like
You start thinking about
you think about what could have been, or like you just think about all these hype. You start looking back instead of looking forward. I would say more so like preparing the trip, like starting, no later by the end of this year, and for future, I would set a deadline, and I would be kind of like how Oreo does,
Yeah.
and Victory does, like be strict to it, and so to avoid kind of like the financial stresses, I guess I'm saying. But and also preparing like marketing wise, I mean, we had a great crowd that came through, but there was
could have got some more out
yeah,
there.
we could have got some more out there, and we could have. There's definitely a lot of stuff that I could have done, like from Facebook marketing wise, that I just didn't do. Like, cause I know how to promote. I could have promoted like to certain people in that city, South Virginia, and but I didn't do it. I just setting a budget, kind of getting a game plan, and so I feel like getting a game plan earlier would be really helpful for the future. And like I feel like God will only give you what you can handle, and so I feel like we got what we were able to handle. I might focus more on going to churches in South Virginia, because that's like if we do like that again. Because I was just thinking about, it was like if we would have got like all these different churches like combined together, since they live in that city, versus like going to like Juan's.
And then like working to like help promote as well around the city.
Yeah, so I might even get up there like a week or two earlier, and then having someone on the team kind of lead the team and then just come back with the team when we leave out, with like promoting and going to churches and talking about like really hyping up. I feel like it wasn't really hyping up.
Yeah.
So that would be one thing I definitely would change.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like I was talking to you about like earlier in the year, just kind of like wanting to plan like financially, and I was like, I kind of had more of like a pride situation. Like I want to raise this money. Like I want to raise this money. Blah blah blah. And like I had a plan and everything, and things kind of fell through. But like I don't know. One thing I really want to focus on is just like setting a monthly goal for myself. Mm-hmm. Like now, like ASAP. Yeah. Because I mean, I figure if I do that, then I could be even more of a help versus like a month before, you know. For me personally, I had a struggle enjoying the trip sometimes too, because I was like, I'm not even supposed to be here, you know. Like that's kind of like what I'm telling myself. Like I didn't raise the money, you know. Like I'm not supposed to be here, type deal. And then towards the end, you know, like all these great things, all these amazing things happen, which is awesome, right? Mm-hmm. But moving forward, now I can take those necessary steps, use them as motivation to be like. So that's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to. I'm emotional to leave, but like I'm more so like, all right, man, like let's go ahead and do what we're supposed to do, you know? Right. Yeah. And like what was done, it was a success. Like I feel like ultimately at the end of the day, it was a success. It's great, but it's kind of like off season, like you came, you came up, maybe I don't know,
won the championship.
Like you won another one, basically.
And on to the next. I thought the schools went well. I think our transitions could have been better, a lot better. And maybe it was obviously, you know, it starts from the head. And so from me communicating to you, just like knowing like, hey, this is my fault. I didn't tell you, you know, constantly, but like knowing like, so hey, this person's up next. Like this, all right, Juan, you're interpreting. Like, cause there was a lot of times you're like who's doing what type deal. Like a lack of communication from my side, from everyone's side. Yeah. And so, but I don't get stressed out. Like I said, at the end of the day, as long as the main mission is accomplished, that's what I'm pleased with. But just for improving, like
from a production standpoint, basically, there could be excellence could be improved on that for sure.
Yeah, and so I thought we got a lot better though towards the end. I think a lot of people got a chance to share and like speak and.
I think that's my biggest takeaway from the trip. I think everybody, for the most part, that came on the trip is able to like come away with something to be like, yeah, I grew in this area, and like have something to chew on. Yeah. To be like, you know, well, yeah, I think everybody had a play in it, and then, I mean, that's always good for team, you know, like. For just the team, I guess, I don't know what the word is. Chemistry, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, setting the agendas aside type deal, and like, you know, hey, let's do this together. highs and lows. Highs, I really enjoyed stepping out of my comfort zone from the standpoint of just like embracing the mic. I think for me, I've always kind of felt natural doing that, but like kind of held back because I kind of felt like I didn't really kind of have that full, I don't know, I don't say like complete encouragement to kind of go do that.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, like I was constantly like second guessing at times and stuff. I know I could do it, but I appreciate like having the opportunity to step out and do that, and just being the highs is the schools, bro. Like there's no question about it. Like seeing kids impacted by Jesus like that, it just takes me back to when I was their age, and like it's made a tremendous. Those kids will forever remember moments like that. Those kids will never forget, that experience. And this is what it's all about. It's a chain reaction. I'd say the lows for me, man. One thing I really want to improve, like my excellence in just speech skills. And when I mean speech skills, I'm talking about like message preparing and practicing that in my own time. I kind of felt convicted last year and this year to be like, you have a gift to speak, like you have a voice, practice that, you know what I'm saying? So, and I think that will not only benefit my own everyday life and where I'm living, and the people that I'm in contact with, but it will prepare me for moments like those, to where God can really kind of like take me to new levels, because of the preparation.
Yeah.
So that's probably, I would say, the low, and just the financial standpoint. We've talked about that.